Welcome back to Studio Friends, and in this video I'll be unboxing Hot Toys Han Solo from Return of the Jedi. He's one of my favorite characters of all time, so my hopes are pretty high for this figure. Stay tuned as I unbox and review this figure and give you my final thoughts. Let's get the box in frame. It's your typical Hot Toys box that you've come to know. Han Solo in the front, obviously photos of the figure. Typical box, not too much to look at here. Got the little image there. And now, so here he is in the box. He got his hands, the little pieces of wood for the diorama base, his blaster, and of course he's got his jacket, which I believe is just underneath here. So let's take out these accessories and take a closer look. If you're new here, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. I know it's very annoying hearing in every single YouTube video, but as a small YouTuber, it really helps out my channel by showing people that they like this kind of content and then showing it to other folks like yourself and help my channel grow so you can get some more free content like this. All right, now that we got all the accessories out of the way, let's take a look at Han Solo himself. And I don't know, I think my camera's doing justice to this figure, or it just kind of doesn't look that much like Han, to be kind of honest with you. The lighting's doing some weird things with his eyes, but yes, his eyes are that massive and doughy, which I think is just now kind of a current trend with Hot Toys. I'm noticing that all their figures just have bigger eyes than they did on the prototypes, which is just kind of make them all look very doe-eyed. The skin tone is also pretty red. It's very reddish in general, and it's not really picking up too much of the detail of the actual skin texture, but it is actually better than how it looks here on camera. The outfit itself, I think, is a little bit too clean, if you ask me. It's another gripe that I have with Hot Toys. It kind of just seems like they mail it in terms of the wear and tear on the weathering. Like, for example, this holster Han's probably been using for his entire life, and there is not a single bit of weathering on it. There's a little bit on the belt, but like nothing else or any, high contact spots. Like there'd be like hand oil all around here from taking his gun in and out. And so I don't know, there's just like little things like that I feel like they could just add to the realism a bit. There's a little bit of weathering here on the boot itself, but none on the pants. Like these pants are fresh out the wash, along with this shirt. I'm pretty sure it's hot on Endor, especially after wearing that jacket. But yeah, I think overall without the jacket, I kind of feel like his proportions are a little weird. Like his shoulders just drop straight down. He's extremely skinny. Like there's absolutely no muscle padding on him, which I actually normally don't mind on a 1/6 scale figure. But I guess because he has to fit underneath his jacket, all of that was a bit of a afterthought. Because without the jacket, I actually don't think it looks very good. I think he kind of just looks like an action figure. It doesn't look as high end as some other Hot Toys do. This figure, it's sad because it is Han Solo, and for me, he's one of my favorite Star Wars characters of all time. And this figure, for just such an iconic character, kind of just feels like they've mailed it in. Like, it's not much better than a sideshow figure, if you ask me. Also, along with his hair, they did the usual metallic-y paint on the hair, which I understand why they're doing, because they're trying to make it look shiny, but it's starting to kind of just look metallic. And people's hair aren't metallic, and I just don't think it looks very good. They would have been better doing some dry brushing on top or something just to bring out some of the highlights. But yeah, I'm just not a big fan of that metallic paint finish that they put on him. But yeah, let's get his head off here. Let's get some eye-rolling action. Because like straight up and down, like straight out of the box, he borderline looks scared. Like he looks scared for some reason. But if you get his eyes, not that high up. Maybe just a little bit Up and to the side, that always looks pretty solid. Like that's starting to look a little bit more like Han. Don't mind that glare on his eyes. But yeah, that's kind of just a bit of the sculpt, I guess, because he has to have that forward brow a little bit. So you can't really put him in almost a non-action pose. He kind of always just looks like he's confused or just being a bit of a scumbag or a scruffy looking nerf herder. Star Wars reference. But yeah, the side eye, you can kind of, I feel like with this expression, he's a little bit limited in his posing. You kind of have to have his head down a little bit and he's kind of looking underneath his brow. And that looks half decent. Obviously, I'd adjust the eyes a little bit more and kind of futz more with the outfit. But also this collar is just way too high up on his neck. Yeah, just honestly, it's kind of a disappointing figure for me, which is, yeah, I really was hoping this figure was going to be amazing. I was pretty excited even after the promo images and the blogger posts. I thought those looked all right, but in hand, straight out the box with no posing or anything, honestly a little disappointed. Let's get the jacket on him and see if that changes my mind at all. Alrighty, we got the jacket on him and it kind of just looks like a Kenner doll, just standing right out of the box. Cool, it's got a little flap over here, little button there to maybe sort of get some more action type poses out of him. But yeah, man, I don't know if this jacket really adds to this figure much at all, unfortunately. It does look a little bit better in terms of proportions because it is hiding everything underneath this jacket, which just looks a little off. And the hands are fine. It's nice to see that they actually did some hand sculpts made specifically for this figure, not reusing a bunch, which I guess maybe that's where all their R&D money or sculpting artist money went to, because everything else on this figure kind of feels cheap. Realistically, all the outfit just feels cheap. The tailoring feels cheap. This jacket feels cheap. This is a huge disappointment. And honestly, I haven't been disappointed by a figure in a long time. I think the last one was probably Ant-Man Quantumania. But outside of that, most of my latest Hot Toys figures I've really, really liked. But this one, as one of my favorite characters, it just does not live up to my expectations. Even the inside of the jacket, there's like no lining or anything. I don't know if the prop replica had lining, but this just looks cheap. And even this jacket has no weathering. Sure, it's got the camo pattern, but there's no wear and tear. There's no weathering on this jacket at all. And especially when you have competition from InArt and how good their weathering is, especially if you look at Dune, Paul Atreides figure, or Aragorn, there's weathering on everything, on the belts, weapons, everything. And then here it's just, everything just looks too brand new and fresh, and especially for Star Wars, which is famously known to look worn in and a lived in universe, which is why people relate so much to the Star Wars universe. This figure just looks brand new. And yeah, it's just the tailoring and the clothes is very disappointing. The head sculpt's all right. If they just add a little bit more detail on the clothes and the accessories, I think overall the figure would be good. But just if the head sculpt's what you're kind of paying for and what you're getting your money's worth, it's just not a 100% likeness. It's just, yeah, it's a bit of a shame. Maybe if I pose them up, a pose will sell the figure to me. You know, I already bought it. I don't plan on selling him as I don't have any other Han Solos. But really, at the end of the day, they haven't really made too many Han Solos, which is probably why another reason I'm disappointed is that it's been so long since they've made a Han that this is the one that we get. It's not even a Bespin one. It's Return of the Jedi, Endor Han, which makes sense because they made the other two, but it's been so long since they've made one, and this one, with all the advancements in sculpting and toy making, it's just kind of, none of it has come to fruition with this figure, and it's a little upsetting. So let's pose them up, get them on the shelf. Maybe I can fix the wrongs of Hot Toys with a decent pose. And yeah, I'll let you know my final thoughts. Here he is next to his older self from Dial of Destiny. One thing straight off the bat, he's shorter. Somehow he is shorter than Indiana Jones. As you can see, their eye level are very different, which is odd because, you know, gravity doesn't work in reverse. He should be shorter as an older man, but whatever, it's not a big deal. But here he is all posed up in the shelf. I think he looks pretty good. I didn't like, as I was reviewing the figure, I was sort of underwhelmed by everything, but I think having him posed up really does sell the figure, and especially his facial expression, because his facial expression is kind of, he's just a little quizzical Han Solo. So I kind of got him in a little bit, maybe a bit too much of a sassy pose for him. But I think overall he does look better once posed up. I still don't think he's a great figure, to be completely honest. Like Indiana Jones is much better as a Harrison Ford likeness and figure in general. But all posed up, I think he does look pretty good on the shelf. Yeah, I had my hopes pretty high for this figure, and unfortunately it was a bit of a letdown, but I won't be getting rid of him anytime soon. Having him next to his older self and having a little bit of a Harrison Ford shelf is kind of cool. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on this figure. Overall, if I were to give this figure a ranking or just a score out of 10, maybe a 6.5, probably a 6.5. Maybe a 7 depending on the pose. I'll probably change up this pose as he's a little bit too sassy, but that's Han Solo for you in Return of the Jedi. Let me know your thoughts. So that's Han Solo from Return of the Jedi by Hot Toys. As you can see, I'm not too hyped on this figure. I had my hopes really high for this bad boy, but he's just a little bit of a letdown. The whole thing kind of just feels a little bit cheap. Doesn't feel as premium as some of their other releases like Indiana Jones or other figures from InArt. It just kind of feels like a middle ground figure. And for a character as important to cinema like Han Solo, you'd think they put a little bit more effort into it. So yeah, it's a bit of a letdown. Like I said in my final thoughts, I give it about a 6.5 out of 10. I might even decrease it down to a 6. It just isn't that good. And expectations are so high since the quality has gotten so much better over the years. This figure, other than the rolling eyes, feels like something that came out 10 years ago. Anyways, do you think they're gonna make a Bespin Han? I'd love an Empire Strikes Back. If it came with the Carbonite, that'd be amazing. That'd be such a cool deluxe figure. Anyways, if you like this kind of content, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Saying it again for the second time in this video. See you in the next one.